Hey YouTubers, I am braving the mosquitoes down in this creek that I discovered 2 or 3 videos ago where I said it was too cloudy to come in and take advantage of it. Today is pretty sunny, it's not too crazy hot, so I got into explorer mode and sort of been walking around down next to this small creek. And up until now, the mosquitoes really haven't been bothering me much. But now that I've set the camera up and have to get under the focusing cloth, I seem to have attracted them. Anyway, it's a lot less than it would have been earlier in the summer. So I'm shooting up this creek. Just because the light's kind of nice. I like this formation of rock slash mud slash whatever. And I think it'll turn out okay. The lighting's kind of cool. We'll see. I'm shooting the 120 Schneider that I pretty much always shoot. Let's talk about the camera setup. So there's the camera. It's set up on my medium weight tripod. I've had to fool around with the leg lengths because the ground is really uneven. So like I said, I have the 120 millimeter Schneider on it. I'm using some rear rise to lower the point of view of the shot. And I'm using a little bit of back tilt. You can't really see it here. Maybe I'll move around to where you can. So as I said, there's a little bit of back tilt. See if I can get that focus. Not a lot. It's just not zeroed. You can barely see that, hopefully. Anyway, if you can't see it, take my word for it. A little back tilt. That's going to get the foreground in focus as well as the background. So I need to take the shot. It looks like it's going to be a 4-second exposure at f/22. And I'm going to have to take reciprocity into account. So I need to pull out the reciprocity timer and figure that out. Today I'm shooting FOMA 100, and I'm shooting it at exposure index 80. And I'll develop it in Rodinal like I always do. Wow, the things we go through to get like one sheet of film shot. Of course, this wasn't some great travail or anything like that. But you know, standing on uneven, slippery ground for 20 minutes while you set up the shot and try to get videos for you guys. It's tough. All the mosquitoes are attacking you, you're sweating. But somehow, I can't explain it exactly. That makes the shot worth more than just kind of walking down there and taking a bunch of shots and, you know, thinking one will come out, and most likely they will. Cameras are, you know, their automated features these days are really powerful and pretty darn accurate. So you could probably go down to a digital camera and pop off a shot really quick, or 100 shots, and come away with something you like. But there's something about constraints and struggle. It's a strong word. It's not really a struggle. I mean, I'm about 500 yards away from the courthouse here. But you know, it's that stuff. It's not comfortable. Something about that makes the result, if it turns out, all the more worthwhile. And shooting the larger formats, I think I'm in the sweet spot now. You know, when I started shooting film again, I started with 35 millimeter because that's what I was familiar with from the 70s and 80s. Then I moved into medium format, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is incredible how much better this is than 35 millimeter in terms of quality, tone, etc. Large format, kind of, you know, large format is to medium format what medium format was to 35 millimeter for me. Now you can't just say large format. That is, there's more than one large format. Just like you can kind of say medium format because there are definitely limitations. Medium format film is going to always be this tall. It's all about how wide or narrow the frame is. With large format, I'm just shooting the smallest large format. That's 4x5. It goes up and up and up. And as it goes up, it gets harder and harder to shoot, to handle, to buy, to pack, all that stuff. So I feel like 4x5, if you're going for a certain quality, 4x5 seems to be in the ultimate sweet spot. The camera isn't particularly hard to carry. It fits in this reasonably sized backpack very easily with 3 lenses, one of which I bought specifically so it would be compact. 2 meters, 3 film holders, a couple of cable releases, a dark cloth, which is a t-shirt, you know, so it's not that hard to carry this stuff. So the trade-off in quality is right there for me. I feel like 8x10 would push me into the ever larger things and would be really hard to get out and shoot, although the quality that you get with it is incredible. So I guess I'm feeling a little philosophical. One thing I've been meaning to vlog about is these large format videos that I actually really enjoy making. I like talking about the kind of the movements that you use with the camera to get the most out of your shot, that sort of thing. I just like the technical aspects of this kind of shooting. But these videos are the least popular videos I've ever made. So it's kind of funny. I'm driven to do them because I know there's the 300 out there and then maybe a few others that are into it. But man, a lot of effort to get 400 views, probably 400 lifetime views on a lot of these. I'm gonna keep doing it though, because I just like doing it. Hopefully you guys like watching. Okay, a little more on that exposure, and that's the only one I got. Been out here about I don't know, an hour and a half. So I said I used my spot meter, and I used its shadow setting. So what's that all about? So what I did was I picked the darkest area of the image, or the shot that I was taking, and put the spot meter on that and took a reading there, basically saying this is the darkest place where I still want to see some detail. I used the meter's function to say that was my intention, was to meter for the shadows. And I did that because I want to make sure I have all the shadow detail in that shot because it's pretty dark. And film's got, if you're not used to shooting film, you may not know this, but digital runs out of headroom, and when it does, you hit a wall. So if you get something too light, it'll just turn white and it'll be solid white and there's just nothing you can do about it. Film has a lot of headroom on the high end, meaning on the light side. So I wanted to make sure that I had my shadows, but there were some pretty bright spots in that shot too. And I'm not going to do any fancy development to take care of that. You can do that. I could underdevelop it to try to make up for the highlights, but film has so much headroom that you can usually get away without bothering, and that's what I'm doing. With large format film, since you do it a sheet at a time, you can easily change your development process per shot. But to be honest, I'm just too darn lazy. So I have kind of been, like I mentioned in other videos, shooting the same exposure index for a series of shots. So with 400, I've been shooting 200. With this 100, I've been shooting it at 80. Well, I've been shooting it at 80. One shot. I've only shot one sheet of it thus far. That shot, I shot at 80. And I'm going to do that for the next 5 I shoot, or 4. Whatever gets me to my minimum development sheet count. And I've mentioned this before. I just don't bother developing fewer than 4 sheets. And I do that all in one tank. So I'll use the same development methodology for the 4 sheets. Folks that are more hardcore, they might shoot overexposed, planning for underdevelopment, dead on, you name it. And they take notes about that, and then they develop each sheet based on their intention. I'm just too lazy, and I'm still learning. So I think that's all I have to say about exposures today.